The TAPS Act, one of the most horrific bills that could possibly be passed ever if it gets through. It's absolutely horrendous. It's absolutely horrible. I'm going to get into it now. I saw this on a Call for an Uprisings channel. Just an absolute horrific bill that would be passed if it is. So it's the Threat Assessment Prevention and Safety Act, which is also in quotes, HR 6664. So that should tell you something right there. But it's just absolutely ridiculous. This Brian Babins guy, as if this dude knows anything, claiming that supposedly the higher-ups in the government have this system of threat assessment, and that's the reason why nobody's ever, tried to assassinate a president since Ronald Reagan, because of this supposedly great minority report type system that they've got built in that they use to assess threats and get to them before they go off and do something crazy, you know what I mean? So, and that's supposedly this guy's claiming that they have this system set up in place and that we need to use it because of all of these shootings and the stabbings and the bombings and all this math. We need a system where we can assess people before they've even committed a crime and try them and convict them when they haven't even done anything wrong based off the system that they supposedly have, this computer system. So it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. And just to point out just an obvious fact that people just can't get through their brains is that if people are so worried about these mass shootings, say all of these mass shootings have been exactly what we've heard on the television, and people are so worried about it, how about they put armed guards in the schools? Armed guards or teachers go through a course, pretty easy to get them a gun to have in school to protect the kids if something goes down. People act like, oh, the cops should have the guns. The cops are the only people who should have the guns. Cops are just your average person out there. You know what I mean? Just the average cop out there is a guy who might have his high school degree or his GED. He's nothing special. Nothing special about him. All you know is that you've grown up your whole life seeing them with guns and uniforms, so you think it's safe for them to have them, but they're just the average regular person. So if people are really honestly so worried about the shootings in the schools and all that, put armed guards or have them go through the same type of classes that policemen go through to carry a gun in the school, and then you won't have to worry about it. Like, when's the last time you heard of a mass shooting at a bank? Can't pinpoint one because they have armed guards at banks. So, we protect our money with guns, but we won't protect the kids with guns. So it's a pretty simple problem to fix. We don't need this minority report system where people are assessed before they even do a crime and they're labeled a threat. And so therefore now they are criminalized for something that they haven't even done. And obviously this can get to very dangerous levels where they would use this on people who they just don't like the way they think, or they don't like what they said or what they've done, or they don't like what they're doing for some reason or another. And so, the TAP system, we ran you and you're going to commit a crime. So we just got to lock you up right now because of this. So it's just the most unconstitutional thing ever. What about innocent until proven guilty? That completely takes this away. This thing does need pushback. People need to push back on this on every single level they can, wherever they feel called to, calling the congressmen, telling them they don't want them involved with it, getting this out to Facebook, whatever, any means, pushing back on this in any means, as if these people don't have enough power already. And look at the messes that we're always consistently in. And now we're going to give them the ability to arrest people before they've even committed crimes based off some system that they're not even talking about what it is. They're not even explaining what this system is or what a single instance when this has been used to prevent a tragedy. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely ridiculous. Just more systems to push into our rights and take away our freedoms. And they can use this against anybody for any reason at all. Now a computer system or a computer program can tell us who's a threat and who's not, and this person needs to be in jail based off stuff they haven't even done. It's absolutely insane. Here's the video of Brian Babin, just an absolute joke of a person passing an absolute joke of a bill that should not pass by any means whatsoever. Thanks for watching. God bless.
Mr. Speaker, all of these horrifying events on this non-exhaustive list have something in common. Every single one of these attacks was carried out after someone close to the killer observed and reported concerning behavior to the authorities. The good news is there is something that we can do to fix this.
I gave that speech on the floor of the House of Representatives just 12 hours before the tragedy at Santa Fe High School, only 15 miles outside of my congressional district in Texas. Targeted violence has taken the lives of thousands of innocent Americans. This crisis is impacting our country indiscriminately. In the most powerful and innovative nation in the world, there's absolutely no reason that we should not feel safe in our schools, where we work, or the places where we worship, or anywhere else in the community where people gather. Americans want solutions. I believe that we've found one. In 1981, an assassination attempt was made on President Ronald Reagan. The U.S. Secret Service began studying individuals who had either attacked or come close to attacking public officials. That study led to the process of identifying, investigating, and assessing, and if necessary, mitigating threats posed by those who may be on a pathway to violence. A process called threat assessment and management, and it works. Since the attack on Reagan, no president has come that close to losing his life. And seeing the merits of this, others, including the FBI and NCIS, put into action their own systems of threat assessment and management. If it works to protect our president and other public figures, why not use it for the rest of us? The problem is that, by and large, this concept is not part of the culture and fabric of contemporary law enforcement, particularly at the state and local level. I want to ensure that if a local entity wants to learn how to use this process, the federal government is equipped to help them. This is where the TAPS Act comes in. This bill establishes a task force of experts who will advise in creating a national strategy aimed at preventing targeted violence by using threat assessment and management. The overall goal is to train and support those who want to use this life-saving method. This strategy will include a program that helps build locally driven threat assessment and management units and a specialized program to protect our schools. The TAPS Act is about connecting the dots before an attack occurs. Let's not forget, law enforcement interacted with the Parkland, Florida school shooter 39 times. Every warning sign was there. They were not missed. It was just a failure to connect the dots. Our local law enforcement does a great job, but for the most part is unaware of this proven system. Folks, when the first shot goes off, it's too late. We have failed. If a local threat assessment and management process had been in place in Parkland, we may not have lost 17 innocent lives that day. It's time that we do something substantive to protect our children and our communities. Instead of politically charged rhetoric, let's work together and use the tools at our disposal. The truth is, we need your help. And while those affected by these tragedies continue to be in our thoughts and prayers, now is the time for action. My hope is that every member of Congress would consider the TAPS Act a priority. Together we can connect the dots and save lives.